Welcome to Asphalt Talk. Are you an asphalt professional? Have you ever wished for interesting stories about paving to tell around the dinner table? Does the thought of creating a safe and aesthetically pleasing road make you warm and fuzzy inside? Then this is the podcast for you. Each episode will tackle real industry challenges to pave a smoother way for asphalt suppliers and producers. This podcast is sponsored by MAPA, the Missouri Asphalt Pavement Association. Founded to promote quality and accountability, MAPA has been serving the asphalt producers of Missouri since 1990.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Asphalt Talk. I'm your host, Rick Biermann with the Missouri Asphalt Pavement Association. Today, we're joined by Bruce McGregor, the Public Works Director for the City of Olivette. It's a suburb in St. Louis County with about 8,000 residents. Bruce and I are going to discuss the MAPA Municipal Roundtable. Bruce, thanks for joining me. How are you doing today?
Fantastic, Rick. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too, man. Tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you, as the Public Works Director, you wear a lot of hats, but specifically today, I think we're going to talk about the roadway management hat.
Sure. So I've been with the City of Olivette for 15 years. We have predominantly asphalt pavements, and our Public Works department manages about 50 lane miles of pavement here in Olivette. I am a civil engineer as a background, but like you said, we do, I fill a lot of shoes, everything from building maintenance to, psychological support consultant to a snowplow operator when time comes to it.
Yeah, you're the chief complaint department, right?
That's for sure.
Well, let's dive into the roundtables a little bit here. So I guess the idea for the roundtable came to me whenever MAPA, the Missouri Asphalt Pavement Association, has had a quarterly meeting with the state DOT for many years, and I attended a bunch of those meetings. And what really kind of stuck out to me was the dialogue that was happening between, call it the owners, I guess, at the DOT and our membership. And I noticed that we didn't have that same level of dialogue at the local or municipal level. So I thought, maybe we could duplicate that type of a meeting and bring it to our, I guess, small group here in the St. Louis, St. Charles County metropolitan area. Kind of give our contractors the opportunity to just sit in a room with you guys, the owners, and just kind of have some dialogue. And so when I was brainstorming this and how do I do it, naturally I kind of thought of you because of your role. I know with the APW, you kind of coordinated some of the street superintendent meetings and some of the other, call it, I guess, roadway events. And so I kind of came to you. And so what were kind of your initial thoughts whenever I pitched the idea to you?
Well, so we do, as an organization, we have our roundtables with public works directors, street superintendents, and it's a nice way for municipal agencies like Olivette to get together and talk about what works, what our challenges are, and everything else. I think when we think to talking about probably contractors more than producers, it is not adversarial, but it is a different relationship. We put out a bid spec, they bid on it, and then it's sort of, there's this line. This is what you bid, this is what we asked for, and there's that hard line in the middle. And we don't really get an opportunity to talk with producers, certainly, and the contractors about what their challenges are every day. Whenever I have a contractor in Olivette, I really want them to leave with the sense that they completed a good project, they got paid a fair price for it, and they'd like to bid on another project working for the city. It really doesn't do anybody any good to have contractor and city leave a contract with sour taste, right? Nobody wants to get the bad mouth when I'm talking to other agencies, and I really don't want your producers or contractors telling other let's say friendly competitors that, boy, you don't want to work in Olivette, those guys are jerks. And a lot of that is, our attentiveness to the bid package and plans. We owe it to ourselves to put together a good bid package, complete specifications, any job special provisions. That's our responsibility. It's the contractor's responsibility to follow them, to read them, to ask questions before they get committed to something and get, come back to us and say, well, I didn't know that, right? So, we both have a responsibility there. And then there's the production side of it. But when I listen to what some of the folks say at the roundtables, there are good trinkets, there are little details to learn so that I know in the future what might create a better project for Olivette to get more bidders, right? Or to increase our exposure and not be limiting. Sometimes the simplest path, it doesn't always get the best results, and a little bit more management on our end will get a better project for our residents and taxpayers.
Right. Well, and you brought up a great point about the relationship, right? And you want to be someplace. It's kind of weird, and in talking to both contractors and owners in our area, the relationship has almost had a change, in that it's because it seems like we're getting fewer and fewer quality bidders. It's almost like they're almost picking and choosing who they want to work with, and like you said, you want and the good contractors, I feel like, want to deliver a quality product. They're not trying to skimp, and they don't want to do a bad job, but they want to work with agencies that want to work with them and make it a good experience, I guess, if you will, right?
Mm-hmm.
You brought up another good point that I think is worth mentioning and thinking about, is the relationship also with the producers, because our market in St. Louis is different than most markets, in that our producers, the folks that make the asphalt, and the contractors, the folks that lay that asphalt down, are actually separate entities for the most part. We have some crossover, but not as much. And so I don't think, in our area specifically, you guys engage a lot with the contractors, and who's done work for you in the past, and you've had that relationship, but you've never really known anything about who's making this asphalt. And so learning a little bit about that, I think, probably is helping on some of that specification side, right?
Absolutely. And just listening to what the producers have to say at the table, at our previous roundtables, is interesting for us. As a small municipality, we're following, a St. Louis County or a MoDOT spec. I don't have the resources to put together our own specification book, nor is it really worth the effort to do it when we do have quality specifications out there and requirements to adopt and follow,
to come together. And I think that's one of the things that I think from a MAPA standpoint that has come out of these first couple of roundtables is the desire for some help with kind of, I guess, if you want to say, a blending of those spec books. We've got the MoDOT spec book that I think sometimes resembles the IRS code. It's a 6 foot tall book over here, and then we've got the St. Louis County, but not everybody is in St. Louis County, and so we've kind of uncovered that there's an appetite, if you will, for some universal spec, I guess, and some help that helps everybody kind of say, okay, this is what you can do, this is what other people do, and to kind of bring that all into one.
And now a public service announcement from our sponsor, May Create Design. Google Translate doesn't work for web designer to paving company translations. You say hot mix and it thinks you're talking about the latest snack craze. Wouldn't it be nice to work with a designer who knows the difference between binders and bitumen? Work with folks who have been speaking your language for the past 17 years. Visit maycreate.com. That's MAYE create.com. Because if you think your website sucks, so does everyone else.
Where do you see this roundtable going in the future, and how do we keep it relevant, I guess?
Well, that's a good question. I think you need to find the number of times per year that works. We're all challenged with schedules, right? And the last thing as an attendee you want to go to is more of the same. So finding out what's new, or keeping relevant topics on there is very important. And then also, polling the group and find out what the needs are. You brought up a good point about a universal, like taking a portion of the MoDOT or the St. Louis County spec book and trying to make a smaller, how do you say, cookbook
Yeah.
for munis of the Olivette size. I mean, county and state will always have what they have, right? It's the smaller players out there that are, struggling to adopt and put something together that works for them. And the reality is that many of us of the 62 municipalities in St. Louis County and probably quite a few in Jefferson and St. Charles County are have the same needs. So I would say following up with that would be important. And then also, a frank conversation of what the challenges are with the contractors are. This is what's really hurting us right now, and this is how you can get a better project. Whether that's a bidding tactic, getting your packages out in December rather than March, or any of those items to make it easier for them, improvement on the bid schedule or tabulation form, things like that to make sure that everything's smooth and easily understandable.
And that's something too that I think was a great point coming out of some of the first couple of meetings that we've had. Is I think the contractors were very happy with the open ears that they were met with about, so what are your challenges, right? So why are we not seeing the amount of bidders that we once saw? Or just there were lots of questions from your side of, and when I say your side, it's not just you, Bruce, it was the other municipalities in the room. But how do we become a better partner, right? And I think they were very happy to see those ears and those questions being asked and really cared about. So I think that's going to help get buy-in from the contractor side. How do you think, the other question I guess about buy-in is, how do we get more people in the room? I mean, I think our attendance has been great so far. I think we've averaged somewhere around 20, 25 people, and I think we've been kind of split right down the middle between our contractors and municipalities. But do you think, is there anything else that we can do from an association standpoint to grow that participation?
Well, I know you publish your newsletter, and I don't know how many folks it goes out to, but talking to people who make the purchases who maybe weren't there, and finding out if they were aware and why they were unable to attend. And that this next one is at a different location, right? So somebody from a different county or southern St. Louis might be a little easier for them to attend in that area. Some people don't always read the emails. So if you have a connection with a superintendent, or even through your suppliers. So a lot of small agencies, they're going to your suppliers and picking up 3 tons 3 times a week. And the suppliers will have contact information for the boots on the ground. And those guys might really want to know the details and come to one of these and figure out that, shoot, they've been getting the wrong mix all these years just because their predecessor got that mix.
That's a great point too, is the word of mouth is so important when you're, the grassroots, when you're building something new like this. And I think what sometimes gets overlooked in that word of mouth is, it doesn't necessarily have to be, top dog to top dog, if that makes sense.
Right.
It can
Absolutely.
be the guys that are, if the plant operator, tells the truck guy that comes by to pick up that mix, hey, do you guys know about the MAPA municipal meeting that's been going on? You should talk to your boss, or you guys should attend, or whatever. That's a really great point.
Some of the smaller municipalities don't have a public works director. There's a
Yep.
street superintendent. There's somebody who's not an APWA member. There's quite a few in the rig suburbs in St. Louis that do not have APWA membership or active membership for whatever reason.
Right. And then, I mean, and the important part about this, this meeting is it's not, from from an owner standpoint, it's not an APW event. It's not a MAPA event. It's wide open. The only thing that we restrict from a participation standpoint is on the contractor side, right? We limit that to the MAPA members, which for the most part are the folks that you guys want to engage with more regularly, because they are the ones that want to help deliver the best product, right?
Sure. Yep.
Yeah. Anything else that you can think of that you think we should let people know about with these events?
No, I think you're on a good trend. I mean, you're certainly looking for, throwing a lot of darts at the wall and see what sticks. And it never hurts to try something new, and then get feedback from the group. And that's the whole group: the suppliers, the contractors, and the agency members or consultants, whoever your target is.
Perfect. Well, Bruce, I really appreciate you jumping on here with me today to kind of go over these MAPA Municipal Roundtables. You guys, for more information on these meetings or to learn how you might be able to engage more with MAPA, please visit our website at moasphalt.org. Thanks for listening to Asphalt Talk, the podcast by and for asphalt professionals. If you enjoyed listening and think your staff could benefit from these roundtables, or to learn more about how to engage with MAPA, please visit our website at moasphalt.org. And don't forget to leave us a review. Your review will help us connect with other professionals like yourself so we can keep this conversation going.
1992 called, they want their website back. Stop apologizing for your crappy site and stop working with that company who thinks hot mix is the latest snack craze. Work with folks who have been speaking your language for the past 17 years. And get a website that's not a gigantic pain in the you-know-what to build. Visit mayecreate.com, that's M-A-Y-E create.com, for a free consultation and quote. Because if you think your website sucks, so does everyone else.